Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Adriana.
I'm Emily.
I'm not Emily, I'm Jenna.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today is the 5th episode of our 7-week journey through Glow of the Everflame, the second book in the Kindred's Curse saga.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thoughts after all, so we're going to be using adult language, talking about adult topics, so please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all 3 current books. Each episode we focus on specific chapters, but our conversation will include the entire series. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Maybe we, but definitely Jenna and I, will at least mispronounce a name or place. Jenna will be leading this episode, so strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl.
Chapter 25. Wearing Aemon's gift, Diem and him are now escorted by Perth through the servants' hallways on the way to the ball. Diem gets even more insight into how messed up the descended social workings are when she thanks some of the palace staff, and they gawk at her, some even dropping their serving trays in surprise. Aemon chuckles at her side and says it's probably the first time another Corby has thanked them. Diem is stunned. The servants are Corbies? I'm saying Corby, and it's Corbois.
Corbois!
Thank you.
Corby is not even close.
I
don't
know.
even
That's
know
how I
where...
said it the whole time I read it. I don't know why.
I wasn't going to say anything.
She's regressing.
You are allowed to say whatever you want.
But you can't say Corby.
Okay. No. Aemon chuckles at her side and says it's probably the first time another Corbois has thanked them. Diem is stunned. The servants are Corbois? Aemon explains that the branches who have no social standing are offered to stay in the palace and be servants or go live with the other unhoused descended. As they're walking, Diem hears someone demand Diem Bellator be brought to them. I'm going to give you 0.5 seconds to guess who in the palace is making these kind of demands. Ready?
Oh, shit. It's Henry.
You guessed it. Oh, my gosh. Our not-so-favorite mortal, Henry. Diem finds him sweaty and bloody and surrounded by guards. She immediately rushes to him and questions why he's here, since she asked him not to come. And you, me, she, he, yeah, we all guessed it. The rescission of the invitation was not accepted by the brown-eyed mortal. Although those eyes hold more than brown, they hold a hardened hate that our cognizant queen is maybe realizing will never be curbed. Especially after she orders all the guards to leave them and Henry reveals that there's 200 mortal guardians gathered by Vance ready to attack. Diem pleads with Henry to leave and not advance with the attack, but he's not deterred. When Diem sees Henry's face become enraged as someone enters behind them, she makes a choice, at least in Henry's eyes. She kisses his lips through tears that are streaming down her face, disarms him, and calls the guards, ordering them to take Henry to the dungeon until the end of the ball. And if he's harmed, the guard that does it will pay with their life. As she continues to stand there staring at Henry, begging him to see the regret in her eyes, the truth that she's doing this to save those 200 mortal lives that have no chance in all the realms of their ludicrous plan to take the palace, while only seeing betrayal reflected in his. Someone grabs her around the midsection and pulls her in close, but something is off. This isn't the musky cedar scent that comforts her. This is a cinnamon and what is that? Vanilla? Whatever it is, it's wrong. Then the wrong speaks, and it's Aemon. Although he's being kind and gentle, it's still wrong. She says she needs Luther, quickly making an excuse that she needs to tell him how to instruct the guards. But when Luther enters, the energy in the room shifts and she knows it's him, her mate. I mean, her man. Wait, I mean, her friend. Yeah, they're just friends. Even though he is immediately checking for her injuries, wiping the blood from her hand, and when Aemon leaves, pulling her in for an embrace that feels right and safe in all the ways Aemon's had felt wrong. Her crying ceases and she tells him of what just transpired and that there's 200 mortals awaiting their slaughter. She begs him to spare them even though they came with murderous intent. He makes the suggestion that she release the visitors from Umbros to allow them to access their power so that they may influence the mortals gathered to leave peacefully. And even though this is a massive risk, since they will learn everyone's secrets in the vicinity, Diem does it. She urges Luther to take Alix and Taryn and himself far away so they're not susceptible to the mind reading. However, he refuses, leaving Diem wondering why he's comfortable to lose his secrets for her, but not give them to her. Diem goes back to Aemon, and he has one last surprise for her as they make their grand entrance to the ball. He bathes them in sparkling blue light.
Pretty.
Yay!
It was like perfect when you were mentioning the notes of vanilla because I was getting a whiff of her coffee at the same time.
Yummy.
It does have vanilla creamer in it.
It smells like French vanilla.
Yes, that is what it is.
How did an armed Henry get into that palace in the first place?
That is a question I also have.
I just
because
was
I'm like, is it secure? They don't like mortals.
How did that happen?
Even if it was like the guards bringing him to the palace because he's like demanding for Diem, but at the same time, like how far did he really get
They
without
wouldn't-
them maybe even killing him?
If a mortal is demanding to see the queen, I feel like the guards would immediately be like, no, I don't think you should. Maybe he took the secret entrance because that's still a thing, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
she
but he
told-
doesn't
Oh, yeah, they
technically
closed
know
it
about
up.
it yet.
Well,
that
he
part.
does.
Yeah,
Oh.
the other entrance, the one where
The water meets the tunnel.
The canal?
the water meets the sand. No, not the canal one.
Okay.
That has yet to come.
Yeah.
This entrance is the one from the very first book where she healed the mortal children, but it's been closed up.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
she's-
I forgot he knew about that one.
yeah, because she told all the guardians because
She's an idiot. Sorry.
well, sometimes
She's denial DM.
denial DM.
She is in her
So
denial.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I was like, this seems somewhat far-fetched since DM as a healer wasn't even permitted like anywhere near the palace with, I don't know. Either the guards are being very lax because they don't care about DM or it's just that's
I
how it
could
had to
s-
be written.
I could see that. Like the guards are Quobois, so they were like, if we let this guy this mortal man inside and it makes a scene, that's just gonna stir the gossip. You know what? I go with that. I say that is why that happened.
DM explaining that it's not safe and everyone's so powerful, and Henry's response being he can save himself. What the fuck?
We don't even need to talk about Henry, honestly.
I
Like,
can't.
it's just
The way he says she's lost nothing, he hasn't even asked how she's dealing with anything. The
Or-
first thing he's done is rag on her that she's fallen into the queen role so easily.
Because he's only concerned about himself.
Ugh. What does that even mean? Like, you want to use her to be queen, but you also want her to be meek and let the guards beat you to death?
She's an afterthought for him. Like, he is too wound with the Guardians that he can now just see her with hatred and occasionally remember good times with her and who he actually cares about. But for the most part, he is just seeing a way to get what he wants.
I mean, he said he got her letter, and he's like, I got it, but I don't accept it.
Yeah.
Because he wants people to learn how to bow down to their king.
Yeah, he's throwing a fit.
Ugh. That makes me sick to my tummy. I don't like that. I don't like him. I don't like a thing about him.
I said, shall I go on? There's only like 2 pages of Henry interaction, but I could rage for the whole episode. Like, I can't.
It just
Um,
is the biggest ick ever when he says they should learn to bow down to their king.
Yeah, I had that highlighted too. I can't help but think maybe we should have taken the time to find the Umbros visitors and make some sort of deal with them before just letting loose their powers with no explanation.
I
Fair.
think there has to be so many more different options that were available.
Why do we just jump to like giving them free reign over our realm with their powers? The most powerful
Yeah.
realm that there is because it includes the mind.
The only thing I can think is that this lays the groundwork or Easter eggs for us, because I do highlight when she reaches to give them the magic, whatever you want to call it. She says, like, basically the magic could flow. I could flow with it to the shores of the sacred sea and glide along its edges to the southern flatlands of Fortos and the snowy lavender mountains of Montios, which I thought was interesting because she doesn't know it yet, but she already kind of has the power there. So I didn't
Oh, yeah.
recognize that the first time, but she's reaching all the way into those lands because she is the
Well, she hasn't taken over their crowns yet. She has been in there, so she does have the access to the power, but I think she's just seeing their borders. I think that it's
It
explaining
says
the
go
border.
into, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then there you go. I just feel like maybe we could have still got the insight there with a little bit more planning. Like she could have still gone in and released their powers and had that awakening, but maybe with just some forethought, a little bit.
Maybe. It doesn't.
It was a desperate attempt, I think.
It is an urgent matter.
Yeah.
There are 200 people waiting to attack.
That's true. They don't have a lot of time to plan.
I mean,
I don't know if you're wanting them at all to survive. You can't just go out there and be like, go away. Like,
shoo shoo.
you can't do this right now. There's a ball.
There's so many powerful people here. Are you guys idiots?
I got to dance. I don't know any other options. So I'm criticizing, but I have, and I've had time to think about it, and I've got no solutions.
I mean, yeah. To be honest, they just did what they did with the amount of time given. I get it. I just wanted to complain a little bit.
You're allowed
You're
to.
allowed to.
Any scene with Henry, go even without. If you think of something and want to fall back on that, feel free to bring them up.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I will.
There were some chapters even where I was doing last night that I was reading through, and it's like I still cringe at those interactions with him.
I have
Like, what do you
lot.
mean?
I have a lot with your chapters.
Yes,
with,
because
with
like
him, but
it reminds me of those like earlier scenes where she's finally showing him that I am descended, but at the same time, like he can't accept that. And so she's like begging for his love. She's begging for the friendship that like she's known all along leading up to now.
And it's hard to see a strong woman crawl for a man.
Yes. Yes. I think that's honestly what kills me is
Yeah.
because it's not reciprocated. It's not,
Mm-mm.
it's just done so bad. The red flags, guys, the red flags.
DM is oblivious to all flags of any kind.
Yeah.
Chapter 26. It's time to meet the representatives from the other realms and go through house introductions. And I'm just going to go through like a quick recap of the realm and their gift. So Fortos brought a finely made blade. Was it made by Breck? Montios brought a thick fur-lined coat with a note explaining it was spelled to keep the wearer warm. A note with it because they don't speak. Arboros brought emerald-hued potion, said to cure any ill, save for curses sent from the gods themselves. Diem wonders to herself why it wasn't offered to King Ulthar. Phanos brought 2 cute fuzzy animals, or Gryvern treats. Lily is given charge of them and instructed to keep them away from Sarai. Igneos brought white spider silk scarf, impenetrable by any weapon. And then, I don't know how to say this one. Is it Maros or Moros? Miros?
That's a good question.
Miros?
Follow your heart where
Yeah.
the compass leads.
Okay, Miros brought the compass that points your heart to your heart's desire. Diem has no idea what she even desires from the heart right now.
Stupid. Dumb.
But it's pointing to the back of the palace while she holds it. Who knows what direction that is?
Yeah.
Not me. Umbros claims their queen has already delivered their realm's gift personally. And then I'm going to quote what she...
The riddle.
Yes. When forgotten blood on Hearthstone falls, then the chains be broke. Life for life, old debt requires, or eternal be his yoke. Sophos brought 2 gifts. One, the Orb of Answering. It answers any 3 questions with a yes or a no, as long as any living being with kindred blood knows the answer. The second gift is Teller can go study in Sophos. DM vehemently... No, somebody say that word because I really want to use it. DM vehemently... That's not right.
That's the first time I've ever seen that word in my life.
What?
I swear. What's it even
Like
mean?
vehemently. Now I'm questioning
it's
if
like-
I'm saying it
I-
right.
Yeah,
She
you're
just-
so
Anyway,
confident.
she
You're
re-
like, you idiot. You never heard that.
It's like
It is. It's like a when you.
profusely,
yeah.
like very passionately.
No,
Vehemently.
it's not vehement.
DM
Vehement.
vehemently
Yeah.
refuses this, trusting the knowledge she gained from fucking Henry to base her decision on, effectively judging on the basis of nothing, and denying Teller the choice to go do what he's worked his whole life to achieve. That's for sure not going to backfire, especially since Lily witnessed the invitation. House introductions are off to a rather rocky start since House Bennett or Benet or however you say it, Benoit, was
Ooh, I like that.
first. And Diem was openly rude to Sophos visitors who happened to be their guests. Oopsies. A little bit is won back when the children recognize Diem and she tells the parents she treated Ivani, the young girl. When they part, though, Evram Bennett makes a terrible threat of wanting the mortals to pay for the armory incident. Regent Remus is quick to say he'll be handling it. The introduction time is not about to improve, as House Hanover, is that how you say that? Hanover, the introduction time is not about to improve. The introduction time is not about to improve. It's House Hanover time, and old lady Ileana Sr. is trying to catch Diem in a trap, making her look guilty of killing late King Ulthar. However, Diem is pretty quick on her feet and turns things around, so it seems like Marth, or Ileana Sr., is accusing House Corbois of conspiring to kill the king and Fortos being complicit with this act. Diem wins their little bout with a quick wit and a talk of treason, but she can't help but feel like there's an impending war coming her way. The first scene, we get a picture of Diem's appearance, and it's explained like she's in white that's like very showing of like all of her best assets, and she's even got makeup on, and like she looks like drop dead gorgeous. And Henry saw her like that. Did anybody hear him mention anything about it?
No.
It's his fiance. So just
Are
wondering.
you surprised?
No, honestly, no.
Unlike a certain someone who is always complimenting her or completely drawn away by her beauty.
just needed to bring attention to
Yeah,
something
that's
else that
fine.
made me angry.
I appreciate it.
All right. Does any gift stand out as useful to anyone?
All of them
Maybe.
have a reason. I will say that the people that don't give the treatment thing, the potion that can cure any ill,
Yeah.
and she's like, I wonder why they didn't give this to King Ulthar. They're
Very
the
good
like
question.
super smart ones, right? She meets them and they are like, there's a crown over your head. Do you not notice that? Later on in the book, when she finally meets them, I think they knew that she was going to be their next queen.
Well, Sophos is supposed to be the ones that are
Creating,
super
inventing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're the ones that are like leadership-wise, government-wise, super smart. And I think that they, just like the one queen knew that Diem had a place to fill and kind of visits her to push her that way, I think they knew, like, you're going to be our next queen, so here's a jacket for when it's cold.
Breaks.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I mean they didn't give the potion to King Ulthar, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the potion would have helped King Ulthar because his mate was dead, and I think that there's also something else going on. I don't know.
I think it was funny, I don't know why, but I'm making connections to like other books. So like the cloak, I don't know why, reminds me of Harry Potter.
The invisibility cloak?
Yeah, this white spider silk that's impenetrable reminds me of
Tog.
Yeah, Throne of Glass. And then the compass. We just read about that with even
Fourth Wing
series.
Yeah.
So Onyx Storm, I think
Oh,
it's in.
that is. She has a compass in that one too.
Yeah.
And isn't it like the same thing? It's supposed to like point towards like,
or we think it is, I think. I don't, because it looks
can't
broken, remember?
It's supposed to point towards what you want the most in the world. Just
in
like
this one though, in the third book, doesn't it? It's just spinning.
For somebody
At one point,
who holds
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Luther has it, and it's just continuously spinning, and that's like why he thinks that she might still be alive.
Anyway, yeah, I just
that was
She's
stupid.
moving on.
She's like, that was a really stupid idea.
I don't know.
That was a stupid gift. I asked the question, but I didn't care about your answer.
I like all of the gifts, and I know that they're going to come into play. Anytime gifts are introduced, there's a reason, and I can't wait to see how they're all used. especially the fuzzy gerbils.
I would use the 3 questions immediately.
Like, why the hell didn't you just immediately use the magic 8-ball and be like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have no self-control whatsoever.
is my mom alive? Do I make it to the end? Is Luther my mate?
Do I need to sacrifice myself for my father? Going back to the riddle,
Mhm.
or whatever you want to call it, I get all of it, but I accept the last part. Eternal be his yoke. Someone explain that to me. What does that mean?
So I'm pretty sure a yoke is like what they use to put over like cattle, like on a wagon, right?
You are blowing my mind today.
Is that not right?
I mean, I only think of eggs, so that's all I got up here.
I'm blowing your mind. I think it's like his
I
Like
didn't
what
grow-
restrains what's around him?
like his restraints.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's saying like he's gonna be restrained for all his life if you don't break this curse.
I had to just
You looked
Google
up
that
the
shit.
whole
Hey,
quote.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I was definitely once you said
That's what I
that
pictured,
Yeah.
but I never knew that was called a yoke.
Okay, it's a wooden cross piece that is fastened over the necks of 2 animals and attached to the plow or cart that they are to pull.
So if she doesn't break the chains, he's forever gonna have to work the fields.
So I Googled this. So this is AI saying that that quote means a past transgression symbolized by forgotten blood on Hearthstone has created a debt that must be paid by sacrificing a life. Failing to do so will result in an inescapable and eternal curse or burden, the internal yoke.
I feel like AI just repeated the quote over
It
again.
did. It did, but it made
give
it
any meaning.
There's-
It was just like, I will repeat these words in a different order, and
Well,
that
fine.
is behind it.
I thought it was helpful.
No insight given.
Well,
Well-
we know what that quote becomes because it's her blood that
Yeah.
releases him. But does that mean she'll have to die for him to fully release him?
Or maybe he dies for her. We don't, I mean,
Not
he's
willingly.
kind of presented as an evil way, but maybe he's just playing his part. Who knows? We don't.
I do think he might die. But I
For
don't
her?
know. Yeah, well, kind of, yes.
I don't know.
Their interaction doesn't seem like a loving father.
No. No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Sorry, I
okay.
wasn't
I thought
interrupting.
I've been interrupted a lot today, so I didn't know if Jenna doesn't want me to answer the questions
I
today.
do. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
I can't remember. Like, isn't he going through towns killing people?
Yeah.
The Descended specifically.
I don't know.
'Cause he's gathering the
I cannot
mortals.
remember. I honestly can't remember. Ems, I need to reread.
I don't
for
remember
sure.
why they basically locked him away. That's the part that like I need
Yeah,
to
we
reread
don't. I
book
don't think
3.
we know.
Oh, okay, because I yeah, that was the part I keep trying to recall it, and I'm like I don't think I have anything. Like I don't think we have anything to go off other than the fact that by isolating him, it helped the others in
Yeah.
some kind of capacity. At least
So
I
we
thought.
think.
He's been put away in his yoke, only to be released.
To work the fields.
Yes. I'm just going to mention that Aemon continually insinuates to the crowd and everyone that gets introduced to them that Diem is possibly going to be pregnant with his child soon.
And I did get re-mad at that and then re-not mad when he explained while he was doing
But
that.
also, we'll see. It's still snaky. Like, yes, you can explain it away, but is that your true intent or what? Chapter 27. Diem is taking a well-deserved break with some wine after she made it through all the introductions. Just when she's about to leave to go back to the ball, she overhears Luther's voice, and he's talking with none other than Ileana. She stays to eavesdrop, and Ileana is spouting her normal bullshit while Luther is just kind of sitting there saying, "Thank God I'm not stuck settling for you anymore." Eleanor comes in and almost blows Diem's cover, but soon joins in the eavesdropping, stopping Diem from leaving too early to hear that Luther will personally see to it that House Hanover is destroyed if they challenge Diem. It's a promise, and I never break my promises.
Cued 2 chapters later.
When they return, it's time to dance. Aemon is being the perfect gentleman and carries Diem gracefully through all the dances. He even explains why he has convinced the whole ball that he and Diem are practically mated with a child. It's to keep them from inquiring about her love life and keep Henry safe. Now, while as readers we might be calling bullshit, our not so for the moment cognizant queen is accepting of this excuse, and we only assume it's because Henry's name is attached to it, and therefore so are blinders. When Eamon moves the conversation to ask,
I'm being blind.
I thought so. When Eamon moves the conversation to ask what Luther is helping her with and why it requires the help of the Umbros representation, our girl cannot tell a lie. Was it in the wine? She rushes to Taryn, and while they're dancing, he tries to warn her off of being with Amon. Amon. And she misunderstands him to be talking about Henry. And now 4 people know about the mortal, maybe fiance. Why is she convinced Luther is going to be the one that trips her up, and yet Henry can actively come at her with a knife and yet be trusted implicitly? The readers may never know. DM needing some space takes off, only to be cornered by some of the Hanover cousins, who by their own claims and house shield are the most ancestral of the houses. They're demanding a show of magic. Luckily, Luther shows up and puts an end to it, and Jean almost pisses his little boy trousers.
How are they able to corner her in this giant ball?
She runs off and slips her guard while Perth is like trying to get through the crowd and like, oh damn, come back. That's what it's portrayed
It's a giant ball.
I don't know.
She's the center of attention,
Nope.
and they're able to corner her and surround her.
I mean, I don't know that they're not making it seem like they're just speaking to her.
That's true.
So
she should yell for help.
She should. I mean, it is the 2 most rival houses.
Like, I don't like what it means, but I like their logo really represents what they think. The white rose with a single drop of blood.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no way it's true.
It's President Snow all over again.
Yeah, it's snow. it's all the pure bloods in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Ain't no way that's staying pure.
But also gross because incest galore.
Doesn't create good things.
Mm-mm.
Don't do it, people.
No. You'll end up with Ileana and Marth.
Ugh.
Although Ileana, during their conversation, may have proved one of our theories about reincarnation.
Yes, I have this highlighted too.
She says Luther fawns after DM like she's Mother Lumnos herself.
Actually, this is the first time I think you didn't take the opportunity. It actually says like she's the fucking blessed mother herself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I forgot my F word there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'll do better.
Sorry, Dad.
So I don't know. I just got really excited about that because I was like, ooh, we've been hinting at this and thinking about it since we started our reread. And now maybe.
Well, especially since we learn Luther is devoted to her, basically. Like that whole thing
the
as
bust.
well.
Should we bring the bust back?
The bust back.
Okay. So do either of you have an aversion in a book or whenever you're talking with people and they say it's a promise and I don't break my promises? Because to me, I kind of hate it.
Really?
I kind of hate somebody staring me in the face saying, I promise and I'm not going to break any of my promises.
Just because you instantly think they are going to break their promise?
Just because, like, why? Yes. Like, there are insinuating, what is that? Insinuating circumstances that can always cause something to go wrong and you have to break your promise.
Oh, so you're saying, yeah. So you're basically
people.
upset that it's not always.
I have a list.
I don't know why, but when you said that, I just thought of like, I don't know if I have a phrase. I mean, I have phrases in books that I don't like when they talk about a girl's vagina and they call it her sex. I don't love that. But
Mound is also really bad.
Mound isn't great either. Or like when he's like wet at her entrance. I don't love that either. It's like poking there. I don't know. But mainly I thought of, I don't like to hear people chew. And I know that's nothing compared to the question you asked, but that's what popped in my head. So this is me answering it.
But is that like a real life thing or is that something mentioned in a book that still bothers you?
No, I mean, because you can't hear it in a book. I don't like it in real life. I hate hearing people chew. Like when Jordan wakes up at 3 a.m. and eats candy in the bed. I don't love that. That's my personal hell. Yeah. That if I went to hell, that would be on 24/7. Someone just chewing.
That's a big one. Do you have an aversion to anything in life ever?
Yes, when you put sticky buns in people's pockets and then go to eat them later. Like, why do I need dripping honey all over my hands, all over my clothes, and she acts like it's nothing? Like, it's nothing.
Something's-
Just calling out a certain book there.
She had that loaded up. She was
She
ready to
did.
go.
She was ready.
You don't
It's
like
typed in the
sticky.
notes here
No,
next to mine.
like, if you're going to put honey, syrup, or anything on a plate, even wash it right away. If you are done with your food.
What about oatmeal?
Rush it. What about oatmeal?
I think that is probably worse than any syrups if you let it sit. It
Like
becomes concrete.
cemented.
It is impossible.
No,
for some
I
reason,
think what
cheese.
bothers me more is more like when you let things like in pots sit is more like rice or something that hardens to it to where you're scrubbing more.
Yeah, that's
I
oatmeal.
hate that.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about more the congealing of it.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
As
it sits and gets
just
cold.
Gets on the rims.
haven't
and
let
you
it
gotta
sit
scrub
enough.
and scrub and scrub.
Yeah.
You have
It
to let it
pisses
sit
me
for a
off.
really long time for that to happen.
You gotta
And
always
it's not-
instantly
it's
put
not
water
good.
in it.
Yeah.
Just do your girl a favor and scrub it a little bit or do the dishes. It's fine. Jordan.
The time I come over, I'm gonna start putting a little bit of syrup on a plate and just set it in your.
Ew, Emily.
I will
that's
be in your bed at
evil.
3 a.m. chewing it on whatever I can
Well,
get
Jordan
my
will be
hands
doing it
on.
with you. He ate a popsicle last night at like 2 a.m, and he comes into the bedroom to open it up. What kind of witchcraft is he working at? I was like, I woke up this morning. He's like, "What'd you eat last night?" He's like, "A popsicle." And I was like, I'm gonna open up a popsicle tonight. He's like, "No, when you open it, if you're gonna do it to get back at me, you're gonna be like extra like crinkling the package that it comes in." I was like, "No, I'm just gonna open it, and you're gonna hear how freaking loud it is at 2 a.m. when you're dead asleep and someone's open." He's like, "I didn't want to wake up Emerson
Emerson?
in the kitchen with
Yeah.
the closed doors and the sound machine."
No.
I'm the lightest sleeper there is. Like, you're kidding me.
Did you sleep well last night?
No, I did
Emmys?
not sleep well.
I can tell.
Okay. So
Any other aversions that need to be mentioned?
I have an aversion to the I don't break my promises thing. I don't like it because there's just no way to fully promise that.
You know,
I don't think.
It's false.
You know what I think all three of us have in common, though? Is when the parents decide to keep information from their children
it's an aversion.
not blindly.
I
Blatantly?
did this to
Blatantly.
protect you.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Versus,
Don't
like,
like
I
that.
understand when you are doing it to actually protect a child, but you also need to let them be knowledgeable of the world.
DM's mom takes the cake, though, because she was literally trying to start a war, and she didn't tell him anything, so I just don't understand that whatsoever.
With that.
I mean, yeah. The other book we just read, Fairy Tale, is pretty bad about the mom, too,
yeah.
though. Chapter 28. As the ball continues, dancing grows on DM, with Eleanor picking her suitors. Things are going just fine. Luther is keeping a close watch on the dance floor, politely declining all invitations except Lily's. Then the band announces it's playing its last song for the night. DM is searching for Luther at his lurking spot to try and catch his gaze, as she's been doing all night, but he's not there. Then Eamon is before her, spouting some pompous tale about ending the evening just as they started it together. Just as he's about to accept his hand, Luther shows up asking for hers for a dance. And they're dancing, people. It's happening. This is not a drill. The sparks, as some would say, are flying. He lets her know all the mortals returned home without a fight since, mind control and all.
Yeah.
And that they disposed of their bombs into the sacred sea. He also tells her that Henry was returned home. When DM slips up and says her plan to destroy the crowns and stop the Descended is not going to happen because she can't handle everything, he tells her it's why he serves her. Because blessed Mother Lumnos loved the mortals more than any of the kindred, and that the Descended were to guard them, not be the reason they were forced into submission. Blessed Mother Lumnos, present tense, wants change and has entrusted it to Diem, and Luther also believes she will be the one to bring it about. He was being nudged towards Diem even before the crown. Luther says quite a many highlightable things in this chapter that are sure to make any true romantic swoon. After he professes that he wants to be used as her sword, he lets her know he wants to hear her scream his name. He doesn't need some king title. He wants all of her. And he tells her, "You already have all of me." Eleanor and Eamon show up when the song ends and all the goodbyes are said, but Diem and Luther remain locked in eye contact until the crowd comes between them. He then places his hand on his chest and walks away. Okay, guys.
What else is in that sacred sea?
I don't know.
Everyone just disposes
Flame
of
root?
anything in there.
It's pollution, okay?
Yeah.
At this point,
Do
you're gonna
not
kill
swim
the world.
in the sacred sea. It's like the Paris Canal.
It's not good. Dead
Isn't that
bodies
the one that,
galore.
if we look at the map, it's literally just a circle because of how it's all laid out?
The
with
ring
Yeah,
road.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything that gets dumped just swirls back around.
It's a jacuzzi.
It's a lazy river.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want your guys' favorite highlights because I know we all highlighted in this section with what it's Luther's professions of love.
Mine is, he looked at me like a flower raising its head to the life-giving sun.
Okay, so adorable,
Yeah.
precious.
Cute. Also, could you imagine if you were just like dancing and eavesdropping on their conversation? Like, honey, why don't you talk to me like that?
No. I hope that he put like a cone of silence around them though, because she was like
Well,
very
all eyes
down on
were-
herself
yeah.
and it was not good. Not a good look for
She
a
had
queen.
to have, because what's her face doesn't even know what she said. She's like, you guys just looked very into a serious conversation.
Mm.
Eleanor.
He says, I don't just want a piece of you. I want all of them. His thumb raked across my lower lip. I want every breath, every laugh, every tear, every taste of your mouth, every inch of your skin. I want to kneel at your feet, soaked in the blood of your
Soaked in the blood of your enemies.
then worship your body until you scream my name. His hands slid to my hips and tugged me closer. Yes, DM, I want to serve you in every way a man can.
And she's still like, I don't know. I should maybe marry Henry. I don't know. After this, she like wakes up the next morning and she's like, I'm going to tell him that this can't happen. And all this is she spent the whole night walking back and forth. I'm like, after that, you still had to think?
I don't know.
Like,
It's,
what?
it's a lot.
Her
DM.
denial is a lot.
I don't know.
It's a
She
struggle.
maybe she doesn't feel like she deserves that kind of love. Maybe that's why she's adverse to it. I
That
don't.
kind of devotion.
But it's, I mean, their connection and what they are calling to each other. Like, it's mates. You guys are soulmates. I don't know how else to tell you. I'm pretty sure you can talk mind to mind if you would just even open that connection up.
Seriously.
You just want to be in denial. It's fine. You
I-
are ignoring all the red flags here
Yeah.
for the Henry.
Yeah.
Mhm. I feel like so much growth happens for Luther's character in this chapter, like him finally opening up and being truthful with DM about a lot of things that he's held secret from her. And
Yeah.
like trying to allow her to come to terms with the fact that they're mates and make her own decision on it. But like he just is like, she needs to know where I stand. And
Yeah.
he does it.
It's almost sad because it's like the same storyline of what he's talked about when can't even talk. When mates have, because of their commitment to others, have chosen not to be together. And so in that case, it's almost like him professing that, like, I love you, but I will also step aside if need be. I just will never stop loving you.
He said that from the beginning too.
Mhm.
It's just, I'm just glad he's actually really, really using words and
Yeah.
not just eye contact.
Although,
I don't have to use words in the bedroom after that conversation.
It's true. And I definitely wouldn't be pacing the floor being like, oh, do I stay with this mortal man?
yeah.
No.
Hateful Henry.
Oh, good one.
Luxurious Luther.
Mm. Chapter 29. It's the first day of the House of Receptions, but on the way to the meeting room, Eleanor is teasing DM about Luther saying, did he finally admit that he's fallen head over heels for you? And when DM is quiet, Eleanor, the ever perceptive one, is like, what? He did? She's beside herself with happiness for her cousin over this and DM. But DM is there to ruin the mood with talk of her engagement. Ugh. However, Eleanor makes a very wise statement to DM. If you are only holding on to the engagement because you feel like it's all you have left of your life before the crown, maybe that's not a good reason to marry someone. Because while connections to people sometimes help shape who you are, they are not the core of you. Eleanor gives her a little pep talk and tells her she sees her kindness and her values, and that's who she is, with or without a fiancé. Taryn and Luther come into the scene, and upon noticing DM is crying, Luther actually summons gauntlets of light to his fists, demanding to know who hurt her. Taryn shrugs and summons his own shadow gauntlets and asks who are they to kill. Eleanor shoos their magic off and says they're just talking about their feelings and to relax. But Luther doesn't until it's just he and Diem, and she assures him that she's fine. He announces the arrival of her father. He warns her of the dangers Andre will be facing once he's officially an advisor, and she's willing to accept them as long as he will keep his promise that no harm will come to any of her family. His commitment to this promise is evident, and he has the most loyal guards on Andre and Teller, and even some stationed at the Hillers Center for Mora. But he can't put any with Henry for obvious Henry reasons. Everin Bennett is the first to have a meeting at the House of Receptions, and while the advice on how to flatter him from Eleanor goes smoothly, the rest of the meeting does not. Diem gets angry about his demand for mortal retribution to be doled out after the attack on his armory. Andre even speaks up, advising against taking some of the actions he's suggesting. But it only serves to spur Evrim on and infuriate him that a mere mortal is telling him things. Regent Remus tries to smooth things over with a counteroffer, which Evrim decides to take into consideration, only for Diem to answer that she will also be considering it, making sure the room knows it was not her counteroffer, but Regent Remus's. Evrim leaves with the threat that his house might challenge her. With the meeting concluded, Diem is in for some criticism from her father instead of the praise she wants and is kind of expecting. He tells her she can't wear her emotions on her sleeve in situations like this and that she's acting too selfishly, keeping him on as advisor. She needs to put space between her and mortals, and that's not what's being represented by him being there. Diem brashly accepts his resignation and doesn't let him explain how he sees this as helping her. She simply dismisses him to leave, saying she'll just have to do this on her own. Okay, the who hurt you moment is obviously a fan favorite for everyone who reads these types of books, and Luther does it perfectly here in kind of a comical way, like literally summoning gauntlets ready to fight whoever's hurt Diem. It's funny.
And Taryn's like, which body? Where are we going to bury him?
Yeah, he's like, all right, if we're doing this, we're doing this. Let's go.
It makes me realize that I like when a girl will let her mate defend her over, I think it's Crescent City, where she hates mates or she hates the idea of it. So she's like, never defend me, don't treat me differently. And that kind of got frustrating after a while. So I appreciate this a little bit more.
Yeah, what do they call it? The ego of the Fey man or something like
Yeah,
that over
yeah.
and over again. Yeah.
It's like, okay, at some point you got to realize he's a different person.
He's is wanting to protect you, but he's not stifling who you are at the same time.
Some people do not like that. And I think that's what she was playing towards. It's the fact that like she doesn't like that egotistical, that carnal nature of like, you're mine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not one of those people. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I think I like this more than I understand it like affecting her and not wanting that, but not once in that series did the character stifle her because he was protective over her. I felt like.
Yeah. I'm so happy that Diem has found a true friend in Eleanor, which was just like made 10 times more apparent in the later chapters that we'll get to. But I just really love their friendship. That's
I
blossoming.
think I might say a bold statement here. I think I like Eleanor more than Taryn. This reread is making me really appreciate her friendship more than I realized in the first read. So I mean, Taryn is funny. He throws in stuff and he does care about Diem, but Eleanor, she's an MVP.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
she's a real
yeah.
one.
She's like number one in my book right now.
Yeah.
Well, her and Luther. Well, nothing can turn me into a brat faster than parental criticism. I will just say that right now. And we see it happen right with Diem. She goes from mature, cognizant queen to brat little baby, throw a fit, throw my dad out.
I will say this. Her father spit some facts, some very real stuff. But also, it's almost like I played soccer as a kid. And after a game, if your parent immediately gives you criticism, it is the absolute worst. That is not the time, especially if you lost. You're like, I don't want to hear it. I need to think this through myself. But maybe later on, after lunch, after a snack, maybe, when I've had time
Feed me.
Yeah.
Dear God, feed
some
me.
food, a drink, anything. Then it's time for criticism. I will criticize him here and say that is the same thing as it's immediately after this meeting. She has a lot of pressure on herself. You're saying very real things, but there is a time and place for criticism, and I don't think that was it.
Also, let's just think that you've sat through meetings like this, maybe not at the front chair like you were in this one, but for a very long time. And this is Diem's first encounter with anything like it, and she's supposed to lead it. Like, she did pretty well to keep her cool, and I don't know.
I do like when he says, does your anger actually help those people, or does it make you feel righteous while the situation gets worse? I think that could be also very much applied in today's world, where people will be angry as all get out on social media, but have absolutely no action behind it.
Yeah. Just spout off whatever you're angry about and then be complacent in how the world is.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very valid point that he made. I think all of his points were very valid. She can't wear her emotions on her sleeve because that shows people how to get to her.
Yeah.
Especially around Regent Remus.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, she does have to realize that the people that she's surrounded by are not all her friends as well. They are also foe.
I thought it was funny when it says she's talking about the guy that she's meeting with, and it says his gaze roved my body, lingering on my chest a beat too long. A quiet growl rumbled from a chair behind me. I don't know why, but I'm just like picturing like a town hall meeting, and all of a sudden you hear like "Grrr," or something like that. Like I can only picture an animalistic growl. I can't picture like what a human growl would be like. So it's just kind of a funny picture.
Maybe he just kind of like cleared his throat, like.
Yeah, I can only picture that. Throat clearing would be a lot more discreet, I guess I could say.
Or maybe like picturable.
Yeah, I can like relate to that, but a
There
quiet growl.
Yeah.
Grr.
Chapter 30. Teller is visiting and Lily is giving him all the details of the ball. She gets to the part where Sophos was there and lets him know that they know of him. But before she can reveal that they've invited him to study there, like his life's freaking dream, Diem shuts the conversation down and starts up another topic, complaining about how her father says she's selfish, which is not the reality that readers saw, but it is the reality a daughter seeking praise would have if she instead received criticism. Diem makes an offer of advisor to Teller, and Lily starts to plan how fun it'll be with him living in the palace, only to realize she's getting ahead of herself. The conversation shifts once more when the teenagers divulge how they get Teller into the palace using the boat canals and royal blood to open the gates. Not Lily's. No, people, a Bellator has the crown. It's our man Teller who has magic blood now. This is actually a huge sigh of relief for Diem, who apparently is questioning everything she knows via her mother's mouth. Then Alix shows up and says something has happened and Diem is needed urgently, and the look on her face instantly makes Diem go numb. She immediately asks for Luther and is told he's on location already. Thank goodness Teller is already in the palace. He and Lily are taken to Diem's chambers and guarded by Perth. Alix and Diem set out on Sarai for an unknown destination. Before long, the marsh and childhood home of Diem comes into view. Upon landing, Diem spots a bloody and disheveled Luther at the front door. There are decapitated bodies of guards littering the yard. She's trying to get past Luther into her home, and he's begging, with pain and guilt in his eyes, for her not to go in. She doesn't listen. When she gets in, however, there's only blood. She can't see anything but red substance coating every happy memory in her home, and the words mortal lover and phrases of the like painted on the walls. Then she sees Andre, his lifeless body laying in the floor. His eyes are open. He is bruised and wounded everywhere, but also his throat has been slashed and a jeweled four-toes end blade left embedded in his chest. Sorry, I just need a little comedy relief because that is a very, very serious scene. Luther is trying to offer his support. He refuses until Diem calls Sarai to take him. He fights to stay by her side, but Sarai has a direct order. She then releases all her magic and screams and burns until she melts and disintegrates everything around her and doesn't stop. Luther, Sarai, and probably Alix return, but she still burns. Luther holds her now, and she burns still. He cradles her and peppers kisses on her brow, forehead, and temple until she can no longer burn. Luther takes them to the back of Sarai, and they go to deliver the news to tell her. This was just such a bad chapter.
Well, your first question is any highlights? Like, what did we highlight?
I don't know.
Four toes in blade.
The only thing that like I want to make note of is the fact that what was painted on the walls. Is that to deter us? Is that to point fingers? Because I still have a theory that like it's
Henry.
not just the Guardians. That maybe like
I think it is just the Guardians.
I think it is too. I think it's almost forced on you that this has to be a descendant that did it. They left a knife behind. They painted stuff on the wall that would be words that would mean something to a descendant. It's like forced. Like someone is trying to make
But
this
what if-
look like a
what if-
descendant.
what if Remus or Gareth is behind allowing this to happen with any kind of capacity, letting the Guardians be the only ones to take the fall?
And that's what she thinks.
Yeah.
That's why she is. Well, I think they just wanted to kill. If it was them, they would kill off her dad just to hurt her. I don't think it was they
Yeah.
were trying to pin it on the Guardians.
Right. No, just to
I
get
just-
at to her.
I just
more
think
my
that's
point.
too easy.
Yeah.
If anything, it's House Hanover.
See,
Hanover.
but that's too easy too. That's why to me it has to be the Guardians, and the way that Henry handles this to me is someone of guilt, and so
Oh,
that's
yes.
why I'm like
Him and
this.
Vance.
Yeah,
I said I will point out that the descended guards were decapitated, just like in the attack on the armory.
true that, girl.
And I want to know why Andre's face is in a state of shock.
Because he knew the
Yeah,
person.
he did.
Yes, he died, and yes, that can shock people, but he's like a battle-ridden commander. Like
Yep.
it's going to take a lot to shock him.
And I feel like a battle-ridden commander, when he meets his death, would be like, okay, yeah, this is
Yeah.
the time.
This is
I've
it.
seen death my whole
Like,
life.
if I'm fighting descended, I'm not going to be shocked that I die, especially when I know they're powerful like he does.
No, it's an angry Henry coming in and confronting Andre. The fact that he grew up with him, the fact that he works alongside, what's the mother's name? I don't even know.
What
and
if he tells her? I mean, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What if Henry tells Andre that what's her face? You can't think of her name. Now I can't think of her name.
Mama Bellator.
Arlie
Yeah,
Charlie, yeah,
is the
thank you.
leader of the Guardians.
and that's what.
And then he's like, what? And they go,
Would that shock him though? You're like,
I
she's
don't
been
know.
keeping secrets for 30 years.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
What would shock him? I 100%.
Good question.
I gotta put my stamp down or a bet or something to say I 100% am convinced that the Guardians set this up to try to like Henry. She just had this confrontation with Henry. Henry knows that she sympathizes for the descended, and now he knows we've got to light a fire. She's switching sides.
Well, and nobody in the Guardians actually likes Andre either. They claim he's a traitor
Yeah.
to the mortals.
That's
Yeah.
an easy kill. So in the shocked face, the decapitated, I will say I highlighted this, and it has nothing to do with what we just said. But it says Sarai was frantically pacing on her perch and letting out scratchy, pained sounds I had never heard from her before. She sounded as if she were being ripped apart from the inside out and holding herself together through sheer force of will. And I don't know why, but I think that that's such a strange reaction for her to have. And this is before they even fly up and see that her dad is dead.
Do you think her mate's close?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I just thought that was an interesting reaction for her to have
That is
because they don't even know. I mean, maybe
before
she can
she's
sense
aware.
it.
Yeah,
And she did like him because she lets him come up to her. But that is such a very specific reaction for her to have. And it could be that they're so connected, her heart is breaking. Maybe she can sense that he is dead.
Well, DM already knows. Like true deep down in
Yeah.
her heart, she already knows. She immediately becomes numb. She knows it's bad.
Yeah.
So I also highlighted the description of the knife just to keep that in my notes because it's like there's pink jewels and stuff on it. It's just so obviously planted.
Yeah.
To me, that's my theory. It's just too convenient
When
that
I
it
read
would be
this-
descended.
When I read this book the first time, I thought it was the Guardians. When I'm reading it the second time, I know it's the Guardians.
Okay.
See, the first time I thought so too, and then the second round, it just feels like there's got to be somebody else helping the situation. Like, I do think the Guardians are a majority of to blame, and I definitely think Henry's involved in every kind of capacity. But I'm just curious, is there someone else from the palace that's also possibly working along?
together.
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
think that's out of the.
I don't think you're wrong on that one because we already questioned how Henry got in the palace before. Like,
Yeah.
if he might have somebody else.
Who
That's
would you
helping
think
him.
your traitor is? If you were to just like randomly guess right now, if you had a palace traitor, who would you put at this point in time?
There's too many options.
All right, fair. We can move on.
Maybe Aemon.
I don't know. I just feel like he's getting a bad rap.
You didn't like him at the ball, and now you like him.
I think he needs to grow. I think he's still slimy and creepy. He just needs to grow. Chapter 31. Diem and Teller grieve together in her rooms for 4 days. Diem's grief has brought her to blame herself for her father's death. Teller is preparing to head back to school after their mourning period is over, and Diem back to the house of reception. She's quite overprotective of Teller currently, which is fair. She gets him the blade and the scarf and the Arboros potion gifted to her from the ball. He refuses the blade but takes the other offerings. Even though he was set to walk to school with Lily, he's escorted by Diem herself and plenty of guards, and then to be tailed by Sarai. It's time for business. It's business. It's business time. All right, sorry. Diem enters the house of receptions to a sorrowful-looking Terran who apologizes for her loss. It's when Alix sits in Andre's former position that grief takes a poisonous form in Diem. She all but accuses Luther of killing him so that Alix can have the seat on the advisor board. Come on, girl. You know that's not Luther's MO. She relinquishes the seat to Alix, although not happily, and then House Hanover. Why can't I just remember how to say that?
House Hanover.
And then House Hanover begins to enter.
That's even different than how you were saying it earlier. It was Hanover earlier.
Begin to enter. Ileana on Aemon's arm and Marth, or Ileana Sr., escorted by Garth and Regent Remus. The meeting is handled rather painlessly, and Diem has chosen to remain silent until the end. Ileana Sr. makes an ultimatum. All the mortals are to be exiled by the end of the year, and she requires a bonded bargain to solidify the demand, or House Hanover will challenge using Jean as their challenger. Regent Remus is left fumbling while Diem continues to be silent. He tries to come up with a compromise and is promptly shut down. Nothing will do except what has been proposed, and the answer to accept or deny the demand will be needed by the end of the day. They taunt Diem the same way with, "We haven't seen your magic" stuff. And Alix speaks up this time, saying she's witnessed it, and there's no one, maybe in all the realms, to compare to her queen. Diem finally speaks up with a counter of her own. She will always rule over all of her people as justly as she can, and never put her life above any of her people's. She also directly accepts the challenge if her terms are not to be accepted by House Hanover. She then dismisses everyone from the house and orders no one from the Crown Council to escort them out. The guards will handle it. With House Hanover's absence, she addresses her Crown Council, putting Gareth in his place and pulling a smile from both of his sons. Regent Remus and Gareth exit the room, and Aemon soon follows. Left with the core group of Eleanor, Alix, Taryn, and most importantly, Luther, she again states the kind of queen she will be, and they all welcome that monarchy with open arms. The group dwindles to only Luther and Diem says the thing that should never be said, but also in a way maybe needs to be. Luther promises to find Andre's killer, and Diem tells him he cannot keep that promise, just like he could not keep the promise that no harm would befall her family. He's in the habit of making promises to Diem he can't keep. As a matter of fact, the only promise he has kept so far is the one he made to her mother. He keeps making promises when all she's asked for is honesty, yet that's all he'll refuse to give. I foresee an issue brewing with Diem's overprotectiveness towards Teller. That's going to be something that comes up, and it's not going to be
Well, we
good.
already know it is something that comes up.
Yeah.
Because he feels betrayed, and then he's like, never lie to me again. And then she does. And then
she
he
continues
goes
to do it.
And then he goes to the school that she doesn't want him there.
Yeah.
Because she also lied to him about what that school does.
Well, I don't think she knew she was lying.
No, I'm saying she thinks that school tortures humans, and she doesn't tell Teller that.
She doesn't
Another
tell
lie.
Teller much, to be honest.
No.
I'm just thinking if my brother was like 17 and being seen as a man by my society around me, and I know that I'm about to go find out our father is dead, I'm not leaving him behind.
No, you're taking him with you.
That boy is on the back of Sarai with me.
Yes.
Like, there's no way I'm going to go experience this without my brother.
And it's later reflected how she took away that moment for him, too, when she blows up. And I understand it's a moment of just deep grief for her, but that's
a lot.
She did take that from him.
She took his father's body away from him as well, and all of his personal belongings, his home, everything. Like, he has to stay in the palace, which he's a little bitter about, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but he is.
The guards surrounding him only get worse from here on. Throughout.
It's not good.
So much for freedom.
Yeah. Ileana Sr. is such a nasty person. I would say bitch, but usually I'm rather fond of bitches, and I am not fond of her.
She thinks that she's playing chess and that DM's playing checkers.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around.
It really is the other way around. I think it's like the house that they talk about that tricked Ulthar with his mate and like killed him. That's how I picture Marth, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Like, she's just as bad as that house.
She's just as bad as that house. And I don't think I'm proved wrong.
No.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
She just thinks that she's so smart, but she's not with that little incest mind of hers.
Thank the flames DM didn't jump at this bonded bargain.
I'm surprised she didn't just slit her wrist right there. Like, it's pretty wild
Here you
she
go.
didn't take it. She's like, I'll work around this.
No. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I had for that one.
It's like a lot happens but doesn't happen in this chapter. A lot is said, but there's no actions, if that makes sense.
No, because we're still reeling off of the destructiveness of her home, her losing her father, like all of that, and then her confronting House Hanover basically right afterwards, because that was the closest thing she could take it out on.
But she does keep her cool. I think she follows
In this
Andre's
meeting?
advice in this meeting. Like, she doesn't overreact.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, she just says, this is the type of queen I'm going to be. Like, get in line or don't. Challenge me, I guess.
If my father died after giving me advice, I'd probably just follow that advice for the rest of my life. Like, wouldn't even second guess it. Because I feel like that's her way of holding on to grief, too.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's why she can't say bye to Henry.
You had to end this with bringing up
I mean,
Henry.
it is. That's how she doesn't. The only person that she has that she should be holding on to is Teller, and she's smothering him.
She is smothering
him with lies, like her mother did.
It's just, you're creating another cycle like the one you're trapped in.
Yes.
And how you can't see that is beyond me.
But you have to be open and realize that that's what's happening.
The blinders.
Do you think it's Hannah Raw?
It might be. You might be
'Cause
totally
it's
right.
French? Hannah Raw?
Hannah Voix.
I like
the
the
Bennett
beta. I
one?
think we should do that, yeah?
Et beignet?
Oui, beignet.
Beignet.
In New Orleans. New Orleans.
New Orleans, beignet. All right. I don't have a spotlight, and we did talk about a few fan theories.
Yeah, it's okay we can skip those. These next episodes are going to be longer, so we can save spotlight and fan theories for the final episode. I'm sure we'll go wild. Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will continue our strip down of Glow with chapters 32 through 38. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts for a new episode of Book Thoughts!